Hey everyone, my name is Leila and today I want to talk about winter fragrances. Not just winter fragrances, I would say these are cozy, warming up, wrapping up, comfortable type of fragrances that will work like a heaters on a very cold, frosty, windy winter weather. Today I will show you some designer fragrances as well as niche fragrances as well as quite budget niche fragrances. So I believe everyone's interest will be taken into account. The majority of the fragrances you will see today are unisex, so I invite also men to watch this video. I want to start with the fragrance that was a love from the very first sniff, and it's something very, very unique. It's not sweet at all, but at the same time this is one of the most cozy fragrances I've ever smelled in my life. And I'm talking about the fragrance from Etat Libre d'Orange, and it's called like this. This fragrance was made in collaboration with Tilda Swinton, and I believe you know her from Narnia Chronicles. She played a white queen there. But forget about that image, forget about that hero. This fragrance is totally different. It's totally opposite to what she played in that movie, though I would say this is a completely androgynous type of fragrance like she is. If you look at her images, she looks quite minimalistic and very androgynous, and I would say this fragrance totally reflects her the way she looks. But at the same time, I would say this is a very warm and a very cozy type of fragrance. Why? Because when this fragrance was created, on the stage of creation, the perfumer asked her what would be your best smell in the bottle be like, and she said, for me the best fragrance in the bottle is the fragrance of my home. And she described it as, I want something that smells like fresh baked ginger on the table, something that smells like an immortelle flowers in fresh spring day, something like whiskey pit in after the rain, something like the lazy sun in my grandpa's garden. So this fragrance to me personally smells like ginger pumpkin pie. This is a freshly baked something baked, like a baked pie, the pumpkin pie, but with lots of ginger. That makes it even more spicy and adds even probably some sweetness. But this fragrance is not sweet at all. It is spicy, it is warm, it is addictive at some point. I noticed that my hand always grabs this fragrance every time it wants something very comfortable and warming up. People associate this fragrance mostly with autumn because it has orange color. If I would give the color to this fragrance, I would definitely say it's orange. However, I would say this is a total must-have for any cold season, whether it's winter or it's autumn. So I highly suggest you to try this. If you want something very unique, something very different, very niche, but at the same time very pleasant and versatile, very unisex, I would highly suggest you to try this one. The name like this is from the favorite Sufi poem of Tilda Swinton, wrote by the poet Rumi. Very short piece of that. It asks what the God's fragrance smells like, and the answer is like this. So the next fragrance that I also love will be from a designer's brand, and this is totally different from the first one, but at the same time I would say it is also, it deserves attention because this is one of the very good and successful releases from Yves Saint Laurent, and this one is Libre. I'm not a big fan of the original Libre, so just probably because I'm not in general a fan of fougere fragrances. I associate them with the barbershop fragrances. They are quite masculine, and well, I like lavender, but for some reason the Libre didn't impress me to the degree that I would want the full bottle. But this one is a totally different story, because this has lots of sweetness. It has the milky lactonic aspect of the tonka beans, because it has lots of tonka beans here. And this tonka bean, it warms up a lot, this fougere. It warms up that lavender. It has lavender on the top, it has lavender in the middle. However, the vanilla and tonka here, they completely change the profile of this fragrance from fougere to a very warming up and quite a gourmand, I would say, type of fragrance. I wouldn't say it smells like a food and edible, no, but it is definitely, it has some gourmand aspect. It smells to me like a latte. It doesn't have any coffee note listed, however, very, very far probably in the background, I can imagine the coffee there. I can definitely smell some milky, some lactonic aspect. And it smells to me like a beverage, hot beverage with milk, maybe just a little bit of coffee, and lots of lavender syrup with probably 1 spoon of honey. Yes, I can definitely smell honey in this fragrance, but this honey is made out of lavender flowers. Like if the bees could make honey only from the lavender, like if they could collect nectar only from the lavenders and make from the lavender flowers and make honey from that flower only, I would say that would be this one. A beautiful, gorgeous, high quality juice that I highly suggest you to try if you want something very warm, sweet, dense type of vanilla and lavender type of fragrance. I see this again as a total unisex. I can easily imagine this on men. This is a very pleasing type of fragrance. It's a crowd pleaser, I believe. And this 30 ml is more than enough, because this fragrance is, it's like, you know, it has a very good power. It's like a powerhouse. It's a very intensive type of fragrance, so don't overspray. It's very dense and thick, so perfect for cold weather. Another fragrance I want to talk about is from Patricia de Nicolai, and I have this 30 ml, and the bigger size bottles, they are quite pricey, but the 30 ml here in Dubai you can buy for about $50, which I think is a perfect price for this quality. And this is Ambre Cashmere Intense. And this, again, like anything that Patricia de Nicolai makes, is a very round fragrance. And if you don't look in the Fragrantica, you will never, me at least, I will never be able to separate the notes, the accords. I can, let's say, honestly, can only smell something citrusy here. And because of the name suggests amber, I would say it's ambery as well. But all I can say, it's a very warm and very cozy type of citrusy amber. It definitely has vanilla, and vanilla here is like vanilla from the old book, you know, the yellowish pages, like when the book is very old, it becomes old, it starts to have this very pleasant vanillic smell. And the vanilla here, it's not baking vanilla, it's not like culinary type of vanilla, it's not from the edible type of vanilla, but it is the vanilla from the yellow pages. Amazing, perfect, cozy, citrusy vanilla that I highly suggest if you're looking for something classical. I would say this is a perfect winter cozy fragrance for the office. It is detectable, it is noticeable, but in a very polite way. It won't choke, it won't overwhelm you. Amazing quality, and again, like anything that Patricia de Nicolai makes, I have already quite a lot of fragrances from her house. I would say this is one of the very good ones. It's not my favorite because I have a favorite one. I'm a big fan of Chypres, and I always said that my favorite from her house is Patchouli Intense. For me, that's a masterpiece. But this one is a completely different profile, but at the same time, it might become your favorite because it is so well made and well blended, and the quality of ingredients are so high here. Highly suggest. And by the way, the performance is also very, very good. It's long lasting, it has protection, but again, very polite but very solid. Like it lasts for at least 7 to 8 hours even on my skin. So a very nice one. The next fragrance will be from Mancera, and this one is Oud Vanille. This is a very, very cozy, woody vanilla, and though the name suggests it has some oud, I would say this oud smells like wood to me because it is really, you know, adopted to the nose of someone who is not a fan of the medicinal or animalic oud. And this is definitely something really, really easy to understand and to wear. The coziest, I would say, from Mancera, from what I have in my collection. Quite a good quality. It is a bit synthetic in the start, but altogether I would say the middle notes and the heart is very pleasant, very cozy, very warming up, woody, a bit spicy vanilla. It is a bit creamy as well. Someone compared this fragrance to Zadig and Voltaire, Just Rock, which I also have in my collection. I would say yes, this is the same scent profile, totally unisex, as well as at Zadig's and Zadig and Voltaire Just Rock for him is also unisex to me, because again that one is also very tonka bean lactonic type of woody fragrance with lots of vanilla, and this one is as well. So it has a very good performance, it projects, it smells really, really pleasant. It is a compliment getter because it is a crowd pleaser type of fragrance. It's not unique at all, but it's a very pleasant type of fragrance that you want to wear, and you don't care about if it's unique or not. When you want something warm, when you feel cold and you need to go out and you need to have something warm with you, because fragrances definitely can warm you up, as well as the scarves and coats and warm sweaters. They can add some warmth, you know, definitely, and this is one of them. Really, really nice, long-lasting, projecting type of fragrance that I highly suggest you to try, Oud Vanille. And the next one will be from Arabic brand. It's from Ajmal, and this is called Qafiya 1. It has the number here, it says 1, because it also has Qafiya 2, and I believe there are lots of flankers of this fragrance. However, this is Qafiya 1, and again, for me, this is a very good quality juice from Ajmal, though it's not pricey at all. Like this fragrance is something around $35 or 35 to 40 probably, but it is a very interesting type of fragrance. To me, it's quite unique, though people find some resemblance with Narcisa Rodriguez for her, the EDT in a black rectangular bottle. I would say the musk here smells pretty much like the musk in Narcisa Rodriguez, but I wouldn't say that this is a very musky type of fragrance. No, I would say it has lots of patchouli. If you take the Narcisa Rodriguez for her, add lots of patchouli, like earthy but very comfortable and a bit gourmand chocolatey type of patchouli, and also add lots of amber and wood to make it more unisex, you will get this one. It's very cozy. I don't know why, but it doesn't say that it has anything, any vanilla or tonka beans, but I can definitely smell some sweetness here, and it has some saffron that also adds some warmth to this fragrance. Very interesting, very cozy, very high quality, and very unique to my taste. Again, type of fragrance that I highly recommend for a very affordable price. It has an amazing performance, It lasts on skin, it lasts on clothes, on your hair. It has a very good and noticeable projection. So, and I believe this is a type of crowd pleaser, a type of fragrance. It definitely has some niche qualities, but at the same time, it is easy to understand and to like type of fragrance. So, if you haven't tried it yet, if you haven't heard about it, try it. The next fragrance will be from L'Artisan Parfumeur. Sorry for my French. So this is L'Artisan Parfumeur, and this is Exquis Noir. And I believe this fragrance is discontinued, but I think it's still available online. It is so Christmassy. It is so cozy, so warm, because it has the note of roasted chestnut. It's definitely there. It has some coffee, it has some lactonic aspect, it has some vanilla, it has some tonka beans, woody. It is so beautiful, an amazing fragrance, and I think this is a perfect alternative to By the Fireplace from Maison Angela. By the Fireplace is a very popular fragrance, like lots of people use that for Christmas. If you don't want to smell like anyone else, but you want something from the same family but a bit different, but also very, very good and very pleasant, I would highly suggest the Noir Exquis. Amazing fragrance. Also, in terms of performance, really, really good. Lasts on the skin and on the clothes. Like, I would say L'Artisan Parfumeur is not the brand that is very famous for the fragrance with a beast mode performance. However, this one is really, really solid and good performance type of fragrance. Nice one. Another hitter in the bottle, but a very, very intensive and dense one, is from Paco Rabanne, and this is Olympea Legend. It has nothing to do with the original Olympea, forget about that, because it's a completely different fragrance, though it's also salty and it's also very sweet. But this one is very fruity. It has lots of plum and apricot, and I would say it is very boozy. And the booziness here, to me, it smells pretty much like the booziness in Baronda by Nasomato. It also has some tiny little bit of coconutty aspect, and it smells to me like a boozy fig jam, but you can say it's also can be a plum jam. Yes, a boozy plum jam, I would say. It is very, very intensive, thick, dense. It can choke you. It's not a very safe blind buy type of fragrance. I would say the Olympea original is very pleasant fragrance, and I would say pretty much, though it's salty still, anyone would like it. It's quite a safe blind buy, but this one is not. I like it, and I believe this is a fragrance for a really, really cold weather, something that is below zero. It has some vanilla and tonka, definitely, but again, because of this jammy notes, this jam, the plum jam and a booziness, it adds the heaviness to this fragrance. It's very heavy, very, very heavy type of fragrance. Beast mode, it lasts forever, and it has quite noticeable projection and sillage, so be careful with this one. But if you're looking for the fragrance that will wrap you up like a quilted blanket made of wool, and you know, if the weather is very, very windy and you need something, you know, very dense and thick like a blanket, try this one. The next fragrance is from Trussardi, and this is the boutique line. This is Passeggiato in Galleria Vittorio Emanuele. So I believe I already showed this fragrance before, and this is the nuttiest fragrance that I have in my collection. This is the nuttiest one. It has such a prominent note of the hazelnuts mixed with coffee and floral notes. I also can smell some white flowers in the middle. It's definitely there, but at the same time, it is so sweet, so cozy, so gourmand type of fragrance, something that you want to drink. It's like the latte with coffee, where the coffee is quite prominent. It has hazelnut syrup and sprinkles of chocolate on the top. So this is how this smells. It is 100% gourmand. I wouldn't even say that it tries to be an intelligent gourmand type of fragrance. No, it doesn't try. It is just a straightaway gourmand, but very pleasant fragrance. It has nothing synthetic, very naturally smelling type of fragrance. Yes, probably somehow from one side you will smell like food, but let's admit we sometimes have that mood that we want to smell like that. We want to smell sweet, like a very yummy sweet type of beverage, especially when it's so cold outside. It is not that expensive. Again, I bought it for about $70, $70 to $80, but for this price, I think this is a very, very good quality, and the packaging is also very good and nice. I like this cap. It is made of metal, it's very heavy, so the head of the dog. So I like it. I like it a lot and highly suggest. By the way, the longevity of this fragrance is very good. It lasts and lasts, especially on clothes. It has a projection, like within arm length. It doesn't have any long trails, no. But anyway, all you need is to be able to smell this fragrance by yourself and probably the people who come close to you. So it's more than enough. The next fragrance in today's list is from Alexander J. This is a niche brand but very affordable one. And this fragrance you can buy online for about $35, I believe. And this is a very pleasant and easy to understand type of fragrance. And I believe this is a perfect fragrance for when you are at home and you want to create some very cozy atmosphere for yourself and you are sitting and watching your favorite series with a cup of coffee. It's a mixture of caramel, toffee, I believe some coconut, ylang type of notes, vanilla, tonka beans. So really nice, really, really cozy and nice. It has some musk, but musk here is not typical, the one that Alexander J has in the different fragrances. No, it is not that intensive. It's very soft. Altogether, the fragrance is very cute, soft, fluffy, warming up type of very comfortable fragrance that I suggest if you are looking for something very nice and cozy for inside the house. This is the one. And the next fragrance, let's talk about this one. This one is from Merchant of Venice. It's called Andalusian Soul, and I would say this is the yummiest fragrance in the whole today's collection, because for me this is like a brown sugar mixed with butter melted on the pan, caramelized with the addition of some spices and some rum. It has some boozy aspect as well, but it is also a bit milky. It has some lactonic aspect. So altogether it's like creamy, milky, vanillic, ice creamy, brown sugar with rum. This is how it smells like. Very mouth-watering type of fragrance. It's a straightaway gourmand type of fragrance, very yummy. If you want to smell like this, like something edible, because to me this smells like something that I want to drink from this bottle, I would suggest you to pay attention to this fragrance. Very good performance. It's not a powerhouse, but it's quite a long-lasting type of fragrance, especially on your clothes. It has a projection on the arm length, very easy to wear for every day. A very polite type of fragrance, but at the same time, very, very yummy. It's a perfect fragrance for cuddles. I see this as a perfect fragrance for cuddles. If you plan to have an evening with your partner somewhere on the sofa, watching some movie together, drinking some wine, and you want something soft, fluffy, cozy, yummy, sexy, this is the one. Let's talk about the next cozy bomb that I have in my collection. This is Bois Dore from Van Cleef and Arpels. This is a beautiful, beautiful almondy tonka beans. Almond, vanilla, tonka beans. I would say also some sandal, probably. It's not mentioned in the list. However, it has some milky aspect. Probably it's a milky aspect from the tonka beans, but it smells to me like a milky aspect of the sandalwood, because altogether the fragrance is woody as well. So very pleasant one. It's a perfect fragrance, also a unisex fragrance, perfect for a sweater, like a thick, warm sweater. If you want to add more to that warmth, this is the one. A crowd pleaser. The people love this fragrance. They will love on you. Also, I think a perfect fragrance for going out, a perfect fragrance for office, because it's very polite. It lasts long. It's a very long lasting one, but projection is only arm length, and if you apply only 1 to 2 sprays, I would say it's also perfect for spending evening also on the sofa with your partner. Like, it's a cuddly type of fragrance as well. A very, very high quality type of juice. Highly recommend you to try if you're looking for something very, very cozy and comfortable, almondy type of fragrance. The next fragrance is, to me, mostly feminine. I can't imagine this on men, because it has lots of cosmetic powder, but not a heavy one, a very light one, but at the same time very, very cozy. And this one is Kenzo Flower L'Elixir. This is the flanker of the original flower, and this one is the coziest powder that I have in my collection. I would say the quality of the juice is very high. It is the old formula, and I'm afraid it's already discontinued, but if you find it, this is a hidden gem, believe me. This is a very beautiful, feminine, very fluffy type of fragrance, like I don't know, the white cashmere sweater. White, it's definitely white because it has this powdery aspect. It has a very good performance, by the way. It lasts for a long, long time. And I used to wear it on February, and not here in Dubai, back in my home country. And the February is one of the coldest seasons that you need something definitely to warm you up, to wrap you up, you know, to hug you and to protect you from that wind that we normally have there back in Baku. And that was a perfect fragrance for that. I used quite a lot. If you see, the level of the juice is here, and I used it a lot. That was the fragrance that I used the most in during that trip. So I highly suggest you to try this one, and I would say it's even safe for blind buy because it is so pleasant, very, very pleasant type of fragrance, which is not synthetic at all. But again, I believe that I have an old formula, and I'm not sure if this one was reformulated. If you find this one, I believe that will be the old release. So the next fragrance will be unisex, and it is for men and women as well. And it's from Rosendo Mateu. It's called number 5. The fragrances of Rosendo Mateu, they all are, they come with numbers, and this is number 5. And I believe this is the most popular fragrance from his collection. And I know why. I would say this is the perfect sweet vanilla amber. This is amber, vanilla, with just a tiny bit of florals. But mostly this is vanilla and amber. And amber here is dry, and vanilla here is it is on the border with edible, I would say, and it has lots of powder as well. But this powder is not cosmetic to me. It has nothing to do with the powder here, though this is also vanilla powder. But this one, it is quite unisex, I would say. I can easily imagine this fragrance on men and women, probably because of the amber here and woody notes. And amber here is quite prominent. But this is an amazing fragrance. understand why it is so hyped, why people like it a lot. It is really, really cozy. It is very comfortable, warming up, hugging you, and it has a very good performance as well. Yes, very high quality blend, though it has some plasticky aspect in when it starts, like when you just spray it, but it's very strangely pleasant plasticky aspect. Plasticky, rubbery probably, but it's very, very pleasant. It's unique. I don't have anything like this, like exactly like this. However, it is quite unique, I would say, but I have something similar and more affordable that I want to show you. That is, I would say, from the same family, that gives me the same vibes, and I would say they're not clones, but they have lots of similarities. This fragrance is quite pricey, I would say, and the fragrance that can be an alternative to Rosendo Mateu number 5 is a fragrance from Dupont, and this is the private line. However, it's very affordable online, something about $35 to $40. This is vanilla and leather, and the bottle, by the way, is also very nice. It's golden. It's very nice. It's made by one of my favorite perfumers, by Juliette Rascounet, and he is a big fan of Oriental fragrances. He travels a lot from Paris to Dubai, and this fragrance has probably some Oriental vibes. However, I would say this is a perfect alternative to this fragrance. By the way, I forgot to mention the number 5 by Rosendo Mateu. It has lots of musk, and musk here is quite noticeable and Oriental, I would say. This is less musky, more leathery, and it also has that rubbery, plasticky aspect in the very beginning. But it also has some tobacco, it has some leather, it has lots of vanilla, and probably some woody notes as well. It's a lovely fragrance. No one is talking about this, but this is a very pleasant and beautiful leathery tobacco vanilla type of fragrance. It has nothing to do with Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford. It doesn't have any resemblance with that. It's quite different. It's unique. I see more similarities with Rosendo Mateu number 5, and I highly suggest you to try this one if you haven't yet. But don't be afraid of that rubbery, plastic aspect in the beginning. For me, it's very pleasant, by the way, the same like in the number 5. But again, I think for this price, the packaging, the juice itself is very, very good. So, Saint Dupont, vanilla and leather, totally unisex. If you are a woman and you like vanilla and leather type of fragrances, leather here is very soft. It's not like Tuscan leather. It's not like very harsh, type of leather. No, it's very soft. And tobacco here is also very soft. So I can see this easily on men and women. Like, it's totally unisex. And I believe we have the last fragrance left, and this is a fragrance that I'm wearing today. It's from Amouage, and this is Lilac Love. And this is one of the coziest cacao powder that I have ever smelled. Oh my god, it is so pleasant. It's heavenly pleasant. This is the mixture of tonka beans vanilla with cacao powder, with heliotrope, with lilac. That gives the heliotrope gives this fragrance lots of powdery aspect, but it also has a cacao powder. Like, if the cacao powder wouldn't be edible, but at the same time very vanillic and creamy, but at the same time you cannot wear it on your face because it's a cacao powder. Like, it is on the borderline. It's something cosmetic, but at the same time very edible, very creamy, very comfortable, and very warming up. I love to wear this fragrance when I go to bed because it is extremely comfortable and calming, and at the same time very yummy, borderline gourmand. I don't know, it's a perfection. it's a perfection in a bottle. So highly suggest you to try this fragrance. It is quite a long-lasting one, but the projection and sillage is not that noticeable. So guys, this is pretty much it for today. I'm sorry the last part of my video didn't record. However, I want to say thanks for watching me. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!